We're back. 2013 edition of Sports Weekly. By popular demand through Facebook statuses and tweets, we are back for a few more episodes.
You've spoken, and we have responded.
We are back.
So, since this is the first show of 2013, let's just recap what happened in 2012.
In 2012, the Indiana Fever took the WNBA by storm and completed the unimaginable, the WNBA title.
Just truly a remarkable story.
It is a feel-good story if you ever want to have a good read, read about the Indiana Fever. They're a great team, great organization that got it done in the end.
You know what they did, Dan?
What?
They implemented a strategy. And you know what the strategy is?
Is it Billy Ball?
Yes, it's called Billy Ball. It's something we learned in
FYS.
Don Leidens' class. Billy Ball is the strategy of not necessarily having all the star players, but having more role players to come in, fit the role, and overall benefit the team.
Yep, I totally agree with you. The Indiana Fever exemplified Billy Ball all this year. Or last year, and they got it done.
You know who else? Well, you know who didn't really or hasn't really used Billy Ball? They've used Moneyball, and it hasn't really paid off.
Who's that?
The Los Angeles Lakers.
The Los Angeles Lakers signed Dwight Howard to a multi-year contract this past offseason. Despite many rumors that the Lakers were going to win the NBA title, they've sunk into a subpar team.
Yeah, they really have. You would think with, the guard combo of Nash, Kobe, and then with Dwight and Pau Gasol down low, they'd be unstoppable. But, really it's just like it's just not working for them.
Yeah, it's just not working. They're not getting it done. And they're showing that other teams in the league that use Billy Ball, for that matter, they're getting it done.
They're really getting it done.
They're really getting it done. And in 2012 also, the Tigers got swept in the World Series. It was a rough weekend for us, personally, Sports Weekly co-host. We had such high hopes for the Tigers going into the World Series, and they just didn't really get the job done.
Yep.
And, it's sports, I guess, and your teams win, your teams lose. You just never know what's going to happen. It's just like David and Goliath.
Yeah. It's a very, very applicable analogy there, Dan.
Thank you.
But I think what we've taken out of the Tigers season is that we need a new closer.
Yeah, Jose Valblode, as we used to call him, even though they got taken off the air.
As you called him.
As I called him that. That was out of frustration, Jose. I apologize for any actions I may have, any sadness I may have occurred to you or given to you.
I hope Burger King's treating you well.
Yep.
Save a crown for me.
Me too.
I always get the Whopper without tomato because you just can't trust tomatoes from Burger King.
That's right.
Like that.
Well, in other news, men's college basketball is in full swing right now.
It is.
We got the Michigan Wolverines. I think 17-1 right now, maybe. I'm not positive on that, so don't take my word.
So
but
it's rough.
We only have one loss, and that loss was to the team down south, which I don't prefer to say their name, but as Brady Hoke would say, Ohio. So let's just take the next segment, I guess, if you want to call it that. Let's define, we hear Michigan State fans saying Spartan Dogs all the time, and we know Michigan State's mascot is a Spartan. Now, where does dog come from? I know the Georgia Bulldogs, the Granville Bulldogs. And they spell it D-A-W-G-S.
Now, is a Spartan dog like a combination? Is it, like the Griffin, the Grand Rapids Griffins hockey team? You know how the Griffin is a mythological creature that is like a combination of a lion, an eagle, and something else. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
But a Spartan dog, would that resemble a human and like a dog, or?
Well, I feel like when they say Spartan dog, I'm a philosopher in Shakespeare and yeah, I don't know how to say it. But anyways,
Shakespeare.
Thank you. This is live on air, so part of my mistakes that I make. Anyways, I am a philosopher of ancient civilization and writing, and never do any ancient philosophers and writers and poets mention dogs with Spartans. So I don't know why they're doing that. It may just be a way to like make up for Michigan being up here and them being not even on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like in ancient Sparta, the Spartans had like, like little dogs that they carried around in their shields or something. I'm really not sure of the origins, to be honest with you, Dan, and I'm not really sure why they referred to their Michigan State players as Spartan dogs, because they have no canine in their blood.
No, they definitely don't. Their basketball team has shown it, although lately they've been stepping up, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's give them a little bit of credit, though. They knocked off Ohio, which was...
it was on their home court. So
It was. And they have a pretty rowdy home court advantage, I would say. So
yeah, we'll give them that. And their football team, though, they ended up winning the Buffalo something Wings Bowl, and it was down in Arizona. Offensive battle, 17-16. It was quite the the offenses were prolific. I guess.
It was a score fest for sure. It was just a real exciting game.
Michigan,
it was just
yeah. Although State played in 2012, Michigan made it to 2013, which is always the goal of an elite program. Michigan played in the Outback Steakhouse, and I would personally like to give credit to Jadeveon Clowney for that hit. Being a Michigan fan, I have never seen anything like that. So if Jadeveon watches this someday, which I'm sure he will, I give you 110 props points for that hit.
Yep. It was a great hit. It was awesome. It was a great game too. It was back and forth. It was definitely a high caliber game, and
a lot of the arrogant Spartan fans just kind of wrote Michigan off, obviously, like they always do, just try and get us riled up. But you can't listen to them anymore when their team hasn't made a BCS bowl in a while, and their quarterback is Andrew Maxwell, and all their players are going pro.
Yep.
Yep.
I think. What is there anything else that we should touch on?
We could preview the Tigers for this year as spring training is right around the corner.
They obviously have Victor Martinez back in the lineup. They have Torrey Hunter, new addition.
Big addition,
yes. I heard today there was some rumor about Delman going somewhere else.
Yeah, Delman signed with, I believe, the Phillies today for a 1-year contract. I wish him all the best. He certainly helped us reach the World Series last year. And
he did.
He was a vital part of the offense, although now we have Torrey, which should be a slight upgrade in the fielding department.
Yes. Yeah, Delman looked like a fourth grader out there trying to field those fly balls. He just looked totally unnatural and unathletic.
Reminded me of my T-ball days.
Yeah.
Don't like to talk about it anymore, but...
Your golf days.
Yep. In other news, my high school golf career, I shot 124 on 18 holes, and on one hole during my last varsity meet, I had it took me 18 strokes to get into the hole, so whenever you feel like you may not be succeeding in a sport, just think of me.
Yep. And I think that's a good way to wrap it up. This has been the first Sports Weekly of 2013. I'm Alex Arthurs.
And I'm Dan Kuiper.
And we'll see you next week.